Jazakallah for all the listeners who sent in their beautiful messages yesterday for the first day of Ramadan. Yesterday, well, for some people today is their first day, but that's how it is. Sometimes it's Monday, sometimes it's Tuesday, but today is Wednesday. Are we right on that? No, you see, even I'm getting confused. Today is Tuesday or Wednesday? Is Ramadan start on Tuesday or does it start on Wednesday? So, well, some of us, we started our Ramadan on Tuesday. Well, of course, it's all to do with the sight of the moon, and throughout the world, throughout the many years, it has been like that. Sometimes it's Monday, sometimes it's Tuesday, or sometimes it's Tuesday, sometimes it's Wednesday. Still, let me not all confuse you with all of that, but we need to keep it positive so we can all move forward with a lot of positive energy. So that's what I'm here to do this morning, is to energize everybody out there listening at home, whether you're at home ironing or whether you are in your car, you are driving to drop your kids off to school, or you're going shopping, wherever you're going. If you're listening in, then do send us a text and let us know that you're listening in. Later on today, we'll have a wonderful guest to join us and share with us some of their experiences. Of course, this week, we are putting a lot of focus on the COVID situation and how we're all going to work together to come out of this situation. And life has got to go on. And we've all been in a pandemic mode for the last year. A lot of things did not happen, and a lot of shops were closed, and hospitals, and everywhere, literally everywhere in the world has been on a virtual standstill. So this is what we have to all now come out of and try to make a difference for everybody, right? So our guest later on today, when he does come, is going to talk to us about the Sri Lankan community in the city of Leicester, when they came here to Leicester, and how they have developed here as a community. Of course, the city of Leicester has many, many different communities that we have experienced from the early 70s, even the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and we're now at 2021. So rapid changes. Almost every 10 years, there is a huge change in our community. There you are. So Ali Raza has already told us that Wednesday is a day of Roza or Tuesday is a day of Ramadan. So see what the confusion does to the mind. That's how it is. And we all have to come out of it. So worldwide cases of the coronavirus, and how many people have lost their lives. Yesterday I told you it was over 3 million. Over 3 million, and the figure is going up. It's not going down. So this is very, very sad. The different countries are affected in a different way. In the UK, we have almost 66 million population, and 27 million already have had their vaccines, right? So this is very good indeed. 27 million in a short time is a huge achievement. Of course, we will have some experts come and join us sometime to talk to us about all the different types of vaccines and the do's and don'ts and all the myths that are going around all over the world about vaccines, and some expert will come and talk to us about it. I'm not the kind of guy who can tell you all that, because I don't have enough knowledge, enough expertise on that front, but there will be some other people who are more equipped with that than I am. So what has the impact been of COVID on your jobs? The disruption that COVID has caused to many businesses. No business has been able to operate in their normal way, and many of the employees could not work, and the customers or the employers, everybody in the chain literally were able to adapt. Of course, they had to adapt. They had no choice whatsoever, right? And some businesses have been assisted by the government in many, many different areas. They have had some assistance in supporting themselves, and that is absolutely unique, because in many countries, like I was in Africa, and there was absolutely no support available, for anything to do with coronavirus, COVID-2019. And of course, somebody's already asked me the question, why do they call it COVID? And I did answer that last year. Right, very well I answered it indeed, and they've asked me the same question again. So I think they're probably testing me to see, does he really know? Well, sometimes I always tell people, my name is Zed, not Google. So that's what you got to remember. So total number of cases all over the world are just astonishing. When I look at the Google chart there, right, how many people have been afflicted with these cases exceeds millions, 138 million is the figure approximately. And who's counting? There's millions out there who had the virus and they didn't even know it. So when you go to Africa, where people don't have the facilities to go and do a test, or you go to India, some remote areas, they don't have these facilities where to go to do a test. So this is something we all have to be mindful of. So if you want to call us, our number is 0774 8855 I'm expected to memorize that number, but I don't want to take a chance. I may get it wrong. And of course, you can reach us also on the website if you're at work, when your boss is not looking, www.ramadan.fm. And if you can tune in onto that website, you'll be able to hear us with your speakerphones, of course. And you can also reach us on Instagram, ramadan.fm, or on Twitter, ramadan.fm. And right now, we are bringing ramadan.fm right into your home, if you're at home. We're going to spend a lot of time this month bringing all the communities together, right? So yesterday, when the brother Ibrahim was here, he explained to us about the Bangladesh community, which was quite good. I learned a few things I did not know. And you can also call us on 0116 482 2086. Of course, you'll be speaking to our producer when you call in, and because he has not allowed me a microphone or a speaker or any headsets at all, so he's got to sort that out. If you call, you're going to have to ask him to put his foot on the gas, as they say, and get that sorted, so we can talk to each other live on radio ramadan.fm. Of course, that's what we're going to do. The first day, second day, it takes about 3 days before we are fully battery charged and ready to go. First 2-3 days, the body needs some time also to adapt when you're fasting, when your body is adapting to change, and you have to also be ready for that as well, because after that change, your body settles down and the fasting is more manageable. But first 2-3 days, it's quite difficult. And I'm sure you have also the same situation with yourselves at home, that you also are wondering about your menus. Of course, some years back we were talking a lot about the menu for Ramadan, but this year we passed all that because our focus is on more prevalent, important things. Healthy eating cannot be emphasized enough. Your health is your wealth. What is your reason for waking up in the morning? That is also something we're going to talk about. What is your reason? What is your meaning for waking up in the mornings? So if you're listening out there, you can ring in and you can share with me, what is your reason for waking up in the morning? Why do we wake up in the morning? What are our goals? What are our aspirations? What are our ambitions? Why do we do that? And we all have got to be focused during the month of Ramadan in charity, in doing lots of sadaqah. We have to make du'as. So much to do during this month that we all are going to benefit from that. Of course, that's what Ramadan is all about. And of course, the more we can engage with each other and share our experiences with other communities, the better off we will be. So during this coronavirus, a lot of people have also lost their jobs. They've lost part of their income. And it is likely that there will be more job losses in the months to come, right? Unemployment, yesterday the brother came and he told us about the social impact of unemployment, and we discussed that with him at length, and he left us with the the words which have been ringing in my mind, that social impact of this is going to be joblessness, which is going to lead to a lot of hopelessness, which is going to lead to uselessness. And that's what he told me yesterday, and that's been ringing in my mind, And that is absolutely true, because that is a social impact of this coronavirus and all the changes that are coming our way. If you have a look around the city center, you see how many shops have already closed down. And of course, there are going to be some shops that are going to be opening new to replace them, inshallah. And life goes on. That's how it's going to be. So all these jobs, the biggest impact from the coronavirus, COVID restrictions, etc. So a large number of young people who will be bearing the brunt of these job losses. And of course, people are working at home, adapt to change. And somebody sent a message asking what are the rulings. Of course, in the studio, the rulings on the virus is, you are sat here on your own talking to yourself. There's no one allowed in here except for one person who is socially distanced. And we are very strict on this. Otherwise, we could not transmit from the studio. We'd have to do it from home like we did last year. And that's how it has to be. So this year, we are a little bit better in that we are favored with some facilities at the studio. And at home, it is more difficult, but it was manageable. We didn't give up last year. We were all Zooming away at home and with guests from all over the world, all over the country. And that was how we managed last year. So right now, the whole world is teaming away on Teams and Zooming away on Zoom. That's what they're all doing. And that's how we have managed to keep us going, keep ourselves functional with our jobs, our works. And if you ask around, a lot of people are now not used to it. They're not been impacted anymore because they have adapted. And when you adapt, you're able to move on. And of course, many companies are also saying that actually they prefer to work this way. So they want to do a new system of work, which is share with home and share with the office. So you will see a lot of changes ahead where people will be working from home and then they'll come to the office once or twice a week. And that's what's going to happen. So a lot of changes on the way. Of course, so how does this impact on companies? The impact is going to be quite severe, right? So almost 700,000 jobs have completely disappeared, right? Almost 700,000. The hotel industry, all the shops, if you add them up as well, so you're now going into millions. And maybe last year, I remember a gentleman called Andy. He came to the studio and he told us that the joblessness will reach a figure of 4 million. And of course, Brother Ibrahim, who works with this sector in the community, he's representing his organization to help people get restarted again. He is based here in the city of Leicester. So there are many organizations that you should look for, seek, and connect with them, because this is an issue that will affect evidently every part of the community. So we need to be really on top of our game and follow and help each other on this, right? So during this pandemic, nearly 2/3 have fallen in the number of employees that are in the under 25. So that is the sector that has been hit the most, right? The under 25. So this is something that's going to affect everybody out there. So we really need to be on top of our game and see how we're going to help each other, support each other to move forward and see how we're going to come out of this. Very difficult times. So of course there are a number of new jobs that have been advertised, and 27% a year ago, 27% more jobs have been advertised since last year, right? So that is also something very, very pleasing. And how long it will take the economy to recover? Well, how long is a piece of string? That's what I'd like to ask you. Is no one knows. No one knows. We just speculate, and that's what we're doing. So got a message here saying that I enjoyed listening to the issues of diversity yesterday in the program that we did with brother Ibrahim Ali. And that was very interesting because we are working hard on that in our city. And inshallah, we should be talking to all our politicians, our councillors, to share with them that how we are dealing with all these diversity issues in our city. And throughout the month, we'll be engaging with all the major charities in the city of Leicester. And quite a few people already yesterday have talked to me about some of the good projects that they are doing in Leicester. And I'd like to hear from all of you listening in right now. If you have any good projects that you have embarked upon in the city or anywhere in the world, then do let me know and we can do something for you. There is one particular project a brother mentioned to me yesterday. It's in Zanzibar, supporting widows and children. So this is a poor country, 2 million population. Predominantly, it's a Muslim country. The ethnic diversity there is expanding now. And sad, really, beautiful island with a lot of good touristic things to see. And it's falling apart with poverty, like many of the places that you will have heard of in Africa. So let's see if anyone out there wants to do something in Zanzibar, anything, any sadaqah you have for Zanzibar, do let me know. Then I'm going to signpost you to this particular group supporting the women who have become widows and also supporting their children. So if we don't get it right with the children, we're going to have a problem going ahead, right? So it's absolutely important to get it right with the children, to ensure that they have a good upbringing and a good education. So it does not matter where they are in the world. I can guarantee you that any children that you support anywhere in this world, you will be blessed for that. And that's what Ramadan is all about, that we have to support each other throughout the world so that we can all benefit from that, because the du'as that they will give you is what is going to benefit you in this world and also in the akhirah. And that is absolutely very, very important that we adhere to this ruling. During Ramadan, it's not only in Ramadan that we should wake up and attend to all these good things, right? This is going to be absolutely throughout the year. Whatever we learn, whatever good deeds that we do in Ramadan, we should follow them through and stay with them throughout our lives. So this is a message that a brother has sent. He says, last year, it was mentioned to me that we used to do Ramadan bites, and he's asked if some of the good words that he has sent over to me, if I could read them for the sake of all the listeners, which he has sent to me, which I'm going to read to you now. And he's saying, Assalamu alaikum, brothers, wishing you the most blessed first Ramadan. So he is fasting today. The most blessed month of sabr and steadfastness. O Allah, accept us for our deen to serve the mankind in the best interest of humanity. Make our hearts softer and gentle towards people in dealing with people. Bring calmness and tranquility to the heart and mind. O Allah, bring peace to all who are going through strife and war. O Allah, protect all those who are vulnerable and destitute in refugee camps. O Allah, make us charitable in our deeds during this month of Ramadan to help those poor and needy. And that's a fantastic message. Make us give the maximum charity that we can. And of course, sometimes people will say charity is directly related to money. And that is not quite true. That is absolutely not true. So we have our visitor has just come in. If our producer can just receive him, then we can put him through the virus rules, the COVID rules that we have in the studio, right? Of course, I was talking about the charity. It's also to do with time. If you don't have the money, it's not always got to be about the money. It's got to be about your time. If you can give time, then that is going to be wonderful. So this is what I want to share with you. So if you have any good messages that you would like me to share with the rest of the people listening in, then please do let us know. We'd like to do that every day. If you have some wonderful, good messages, then we'd like to share them with you. Or you can even speak yourself, and we'll play the recording with you, if we can do that. So we'd like to welcome our guest here who has joined us today, this morning. So if you can just start with that. That is the first rule in the studio, is you got to sanitize yourself, and then we're ready to go. Of course, the brother is actively doing that now. And brother, good morning to you. Take a seat. Welcome to Ramadan.fm studios. Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay.
You can take your coat off and relax, because it gets a little bit hot in here, right?
Sure.
So I'm going to tell you a few things about the studio rules. You got to be close to the mic like me.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
And of course you can straighten it up a bit if you want, yeah? And that's it. And if you lift it up. So these are the kind of things that we have to do in the studio. So how are you this morning?
Alhamdulillah, good.
Now, I'd like you to take this opportunity to introduce yourself to this whole wide world that we live in the dunya, right?
Okay. My name is Shafraz Nizam. I live in Leicester. Part of the Sri Lankan community here in Leicester.
Of course, you're welcome here today to Ramadan.fm. Is this your first time?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. So we're going to make it very, very enjoyable, very, very educational and pleasurable for you today, this morning at Ramadan.fm. So, of course, how long have you been in the city of Leicester?
About 12 years now.
12 years.
Yeah.
So Sri Lankan community is a fairly new community in this city, isn't it? And it's growing.
Yeah, we have Sri Lankan community probably living here approximately about 15 years onwards, I think, approximately. When I moved into Leicester, there was probably about 100, 150 families. But now I think we have about approximately 700 families in Leicester.
MashaAllah, that is, it's growing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And they are coming from Sri Lanka directly, or they're moving here from London?
There are a few people are coming from Sri Lanka, and there are some from London. And we got some coming from European countries as well, because coming to Leicester because of the environment here. So they want sort of a good sort of Islamical environment and good schools for children. For that reason, some people are moving from European countries to here as well.
I see. Of course, Sri Lanka is a beautiful country itself, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We sometimes sit here and wonder, why would people leave all those beaches and sunshine and coconut juice and all those beautiful trees out there and come here?
Sri Lanka is a beautiful country, and they have very good resources as well, and a good multicultural country. But there's a few reasons people coming here. Some people are coming because they got for good job opportunities. For example, we've got some doctors and good professionals living here. You know, they came on sort of work permit and sort of settle here from there. And we got some people who came because of from some countries, from some part of the Sri Lanka. We had we had this war going on for some time previously. So from people affected from war, they moved here as well.
So that was some years back, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in the 80s or 90s?
No, it finished sometime late 90s, so it was going for some time. It was about 35 years old war.
That's a long time.
It was, yes.
Of course, this is the whole idea of learning about each other's countries, about each other's diversities, cultures. So you can see that you can have a region, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Dominantly, they're all in that sector, aren't they?
Yes.
In South Asia. Yet the people are very distanced
Yes.
from each other.
Yeah.
And this is when you come to the city like ours, it's so very important, isn't it, to everybody to link up together
Yeah.
and work as a team
Yeah.
and so on. So here at the Radio Ramadan, we make a strenuous effort to bring everybody together because the diversity here is absolutely, I would say, probably throughout the country is unique.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, sort of bringing all the communities together. It's really good to have this sort of community cohesion in Leicester, like you said, yes, like, the people who I talk with, and everyone says, Leicester is like a Medina in Europe because of all the rich culture in Islamic culture and also the opportunities here in Leicester.
Well, you've thrown a ball there in the ring. That's a new one for me. I never looked at it that way, that Leicester was the Medina of Europe now. You're making me think about all the Ajwa dates and the Kudri dates and the Sukri dates, and you've taken me on another track now on a journey. I'm thinking about something else now when you mentioned Medina. Of course, it would be nice, isn't it, to link up with somebody in Medina.
Yes.
To share with them, how they are doing the Ramadan over there, right?
Definitely. Yes.
And so on. Or even to link up with somebody in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And talk to them about how they are getting on. Of course, now here in the 700 families that you have, what tends to happen, immigrants, if you look at the world today, most of the countries in the world emanated from immigration, didn't they?
Yeah.
So who's going to send me a text message straight away and tell me which are these countries? Text number is 077 488 55055. You're listening to Ramadan.fm. That's what you're listening to right now. So if you can text us your message and tell us, then we're going to share with you. Of course, we're going to discuss those answers after the break in 2 minutes and see if anybody's awake out there. If you're awake, then send us a text and tell us the countries that you think emanated from immigration, right? We have to be here today to show the world the value of immigration, right? Throughout the world. In this city, in this country, we have so many different diversities today, and we have to learn from each other.
Yeah.
And of course, I know that there is a mosque in near Melton Road area for the Sri Lankan community, isn't there?
There's 3 mosques in Sri Lankan community, so I got the details, so I can just sort of go through those things. So we got 3 proper mosques here, a proper situated mosque who does 5-time prayers and Jummah, khutbah and everything. We got Masjid Ansar, which is sort of 39 Edge Hill Road, just off Gypsy Lane, and we got Masjid Fida, which is in Evington, just off Evington, which is Osmaston Road, number 9. And we got Masjid Isla, it's in Brighton Road. So we got 3 proper masjids, which does, 5-time prayers and Taraweeh and Jummah and everything.
That's right. And that is 3 over a period of how many years?
Probably, I would say within the last 12 to 15 years.
So, of course, I always tell everybody in the city that every place of worship is your masjid, right? And if you're ever in any area, you just got to know where the masjid is. And of course, you have so many apps now, you have so much information available on Google that you can find, there's an app there called Find a Mosque. And you can go on that and it will tell you directly where that mosque is. And of course, if you know about these things, if you don't have the app, then it's good to know about them. That don't look at it, oh, that's a Sri Lankan mosque, and then that does not help us live together as a community. I'd love to come to one of your mosques and meet all the people there.
You're very welcome,
right?
Anytime.
And see who the community is, what they're all about, and work together and build good relations with each other. It's very important, the structure of the mosques, as well as all the other places of worship. Historically, these were the centers where all the communities engage with each other, or the community engage with the community. But today, we have so many of them in Leicester that we don't know enough about them. So we're going to join you straight after this break, and we're going to continue with Brother Safraz. thank you very much. So. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are back here on Radio Ramadan to meet and greet all of you throughout the world, not only in the city of Leicester, but everybody listening in from our Facebook, from our Ramadan.fm website. We all hope that you're listening in well. So if you are on any of these mediums, do send us a message and tell us how clear is the signal so that we can look at our digital platforms and see if they're all working right. Of course, a message has already come in to us that there is also a new masjid in Thermiston called Masjid Muhammad. They also do a lot of charity work in Bulgaria. Now, did you know that, Brother Safraz?
I heard about that masjid, but mashallah, they're doing a very good job in Bulgaria because they got a fair amount of Muslim community there as well.
Yeah. Of course, there are so many organizations that I can list through in the city who are doing some fantastic work, right? Just to straight away, one comes to mind is Rahma Mercy, then the Peace Center, and there are some fantastic organizations like the Drop of Compassion, and we're going to be engaging throughout the month with all of these organizations, and we're going to work together. to develop more and more initiatives throughout the world. And that's what it's all about, right? And we have a brother, Arif. Salams Guys Radio, very clear. Facebook also very clear. Wow. And when we have only a handful of days to prepare everything, it's good to know that everything is so clear, right? So now somebody send me a message to tell me how it is from the website. Now some people will be listening in throughout the world and how they can listen in the USA as well. So radio today is not local. It was local. Now it has become national. And from national, it's gone on to be global. Isn't that wonderful?
MashaAllah, it's a great job you're doing.
You're sitting here on Evington Road and you're reaching out to somebody all the way in the USA or in Pakistan or India or Africa. And that's what it's all about. Or even in London. So if anybody is listening in from London, then give us a bell and let us know. It's good to engage. So, of course, our WhatsApp and our text number is 077-488-55055. So, Brother Safraz, what is your profession? What do you do?
I'm a cybersecurity consultant working for a multinational company. My main job is looking after our healthcare on protecting it from cyber attacks.
So, cyber attacks is very, very prevalent, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
At the moment throughout the world. And that's fantastic to know. So there's a lot of people who need support on cyber security because a lot of this is happening in companies now, isn't it?
Yes, because we are all gone online after this pandemic, and the attack has been sort of exposure as well. There's so much of exposure to the cyber attacks these days because of all the home working and all the other thing, because everyone's going online these days.
Of course, sometimes I'm just afraid to even open up my home computer or my laptop, worrying about these attacks because, some of the things that you hear about and you read about, or even if some of you have experienced this kind of an attack and see your data has been breached, it is frightening, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so on. So give us some little example that somebody would face at home, because everybody's now shopping on Amazon. And what kind of experience these people have?
Main thing, what they try to do, they do like they try to harvest your username password from your computer, from the website, and try to use your name and buy some things or buy other things. For example, if your computer is not protected, they can have a malicious software installed in your computer remotely and try to harvest your information. So information is the main thing. So if information, they can do anything with your information. So that's like gold for them. And each information, they can sell it on what they call dark web. So they sell it in dark web for other hackers to use your information and apply for loans and apply for other things and sort of, build up your credit profile for them to harvest, financial benefit from you.
And this is happening a lot now, isn't it?
It's not now. And also there are some people, they try to sort of, so if the computer or your phone is not properly patched, they can actually remote control your sort of camera or your microphone and hear what you're saying or see all those things. There's so much of complication things in cybersecurity. So that's one of the reasons we want to make sure, all our laptop, all our phones and all our sort of digital devices are up to date with all the security patches and everything.
Of course, so Brother Safraz is a man to reach out to. If anyone needs any support in that area, it's wonderful to have a person to call to seek help. And of course, every company is vulnerable, aren't they?
They are. They spend a chunk of their budget on security, on cybersecurity these days, because everything is online. They can sort of get information sort of in your fingertips. So we want to make sure everything is protected. The new GDPR rules, and that is very that's very sort of very tough rule as well. If the information is leaked from your organization, they will charge approximately 4% of your annual income as a fine. Yes. So there's so much of other things as well. So you need to be careful on all those in company reputation, all of the stuff. Yes.
So it's a very, very serious matter, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Of course, people don't know enough about GDPR. So throughout the month, we will be seeking out other people. Then we can find out more. And there's a message here. Listening via website, and my kids really enjoy being searching for a kid-friendly radio for years. Listening from Bolton. MashaAllah, this here we are very kid-friendly here, right? So almost the period between 3 and 5 is absolutely dedicated to the kids. So that's a great message. Thank you for that. And of course, now you see this message has come in. Now this person is now explain to us the complications now if we are to hold this person as on our database, for example. So this is what GDPR is all about,
Yes,
isn't it?
Yes, we need to have the person's consent, explicit consent to have their data in our system or in our servers.
On the radio, so that we can keep them informed, or any newsletter, anything like that. So of course, since the GDPR rules have come, I've noted that increasingly there are less people who are harassing you on the internet.
Yes, so that's the thing, even if they're harassing without your consent, or if they're calling without your consent, that's a GDPR breach as well. So there's so much of, it's very, very, very complex, and it's sort of protecting the individual with their data.
And this is this in itself requires a 1-hour program, isn't it?
Yeah, inshallah.
To educate everybody. So definitely we're going to have another session just on this matter for our listeners. Of course, in the morning program, we have so many different people who are discussing different matters, but during the day, we tend to keep a program specific to a topic rather than talk about so many different subjects. So today, look, we've moved from Sri Lanka to the city of Leicester, and we've gone all across the globe talking about reception, and also now we are talking about GDPR. So that is a lot of information to pack in 1 hour, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And it's a total confusion for some people out there. They can't keep up. Of course, these are all simple bullet points, and there's nothing in detail here to discuss, but we're going to bring it back to the community development issues. Brother Safraz, tell us now, what are you doing to develop your community, and also allowing your community, creating platforms for your community to integrate with the rest of the communities in the city of Leicester?
Okay, so we got several projects going on a community basis and also on the masjid basis. We got a football club called Ceylon Moors Football Club, soccer club. So they do quite a lot of matches and tournaments, and we got some cricket clubs as well, because, as you know, Sri Lankans are very fond of cricket. And we got a few other sort of community events happening on a regular basis. And also, we got some of the organizations, some of the masjid, we have sort of classes for maths classes, science classes for children. So we got, this is for the entire community, not only for Sri Lankans. So we got loads of other things happening as well. And we got a food bank as well. We got an organization called Nida Community Services UK. They do a food bank in Leicester and a few other areas as well. So there's some few other things, and we got this some charities here who help the poor in Sri Lanka, and there's a specific charity who help the reverts in Sri Lanka as well. So there are so much of other things the Sri Lankans doing. The community for the engaging the other community in Leicester and also the other parts of the world as well.
Of course, in the sporting arena, I have seen worldwide Sri Lanka is getting very, very popular with cricket, aren't they?
Yes, they're very good at cricket. Yes, we got a few small cricket teams as well here. They do sort of inter-team matches during summer, softball matches, and they got a few grounds booked as well for that. And we got this Ceylon Moors Football Association. They got Ceylon Moors Football Club. They got the league matches as well with a few other leagues locally. So yeah, they're integrating the community through the sports as well.
So you can connect us with these organizations, so we can signpost them to the wider organizations in the city, so we can build our diversities collectively and move forward, because there is a lot of talent amongst these youngsters, isn't there?
Yes,
And to channel their energies using sport as a medium for community development is something we are very, very committed to here at the radio, that we should use this 1 month to achieve a lot of objectives throughout this month. Now, also, you will recall last year the radio supported the Leicestershire Children's Hospital appeal, and we'd like very much for the Sri Lanka community to come on board and join that initiative this year. And do you know much about that?
I've heard about it, but not in detail.
Okay. So Leicester is building a state-of-the-art children's, specialist children's hospital, separate ward from the Royal Infirmary, from the rest of it. So if you ever been to the Royal Infirmary in Leicester, you see it's a huge complex with all different names of buildings, and you have the Balmoral ward, you have the Windsor ward, and so many different wards. And this is a new extension they are building there. It's quite a project, and it's coming along really well. I'll be able to send you some details on that. And we'd like very much for the Sri Lankan community to come on board, because tomorrow your children, your grandchildren may have a use for this hospital.
Yeah.
And to make good connections locally and engaging and take a little bit of ownership is very important. What do you think about that?
That's a great work we are doing. Yes, we would like to engage with you all. I'll pass the information to all our community and the community masjids here. It's a very great job we are doing. We need to give back to our society. We need to show that, as Muslims, and we participate in every event, and definitely, we would like to sort of participate in this event as well and help you all to sort of in your work.
Of course, this is a very important objective for all of us to deliver this collectively throughout the city of Leicester, which is all the communities, not only one specific community. And it's all about the sadaqah as well.
Yes.
And when we are working hard to develop our own communities, we'll all be better for it.
Yeah. It could be a sadaqah jariyah as well, because it's going to be a continuous sadaqah helping all these children getting good health care and everything. We got sort of in UK, alhamdulillah, we got free health care, and this is a good opportunity to give back to the society and help bring us to the next sort of healthcare technology with all the new equipments and everything to help diagnose things. And,
that's right. Yeah. So we are rapidly, you being in cybersecurity will understand and appreciate more than anybody the way we are moving fast with the digital platforms across the globe right now. So today we are listening in across the globe due to the digital platforms available to us. Yeah. So the future is going to be totally digital, isn't it?
Yes. Everything is going to be in the fingertips. It's all digital, but in the meantime, it needs to be more secure and more user-friendly as well.
So Brother Safraz is working in that industry of cybersecurity. So of course, if you have any questions, you can send them over on the text message to us, and we can forward them to him, and he'll be glad to signpost you or even to answer your particular question concerning cybersecurity on your laptop, in your business, or anything of that sort. And just call a friend, as they say, isn't it?
Yes, sure, definitely.
And in doing that, you'll also be developing and building the community. So our studio line, if you phone directly off a landline, is 0116 4822 And you can even WhatsApp us or send us a text message on 077 488 55055. And of course, it's an easy number to remember, 0774 88 55055. And you can also reach us on our website, which is ramadan.fm. And this is all the platforms here. So today you've been listening to Radio Ramadan.fm here in the city of Leicester. And we're here to engage with all the different communities. This week is dedicated to engaging with the different communities in Leicester. So each day we spend time talking to people from different communities to engage with them, to know about them, to share with them some of their experiences. And Brother Safraz, you've had some good experiences, haven't you, in Leicester?
Yes, very good experience, mashallah. Good community, very welcoming, and there's loads of place to eat, loads of halal food as well. It's very good. Can't find it everywhere.
Food is a subject we don't talk about on this. It's a sour subject on the radio, food. So here we have another message here. Call Brother Safraz us a good site to get cyber training. Yes.
There's in Udemy, you got loads of free, or you got sometimes free training on that. And there's something called Cybery, Cybery, Cybery. I'll send you all the message to the to Ramadan Radio so they can sort of send it. So that has a very good training and training path as well. So for example, a person who doesn't have much knowledge on IT, they can train themselves to be a cybersecurity professional. So I'll pass you that information. Yeah, that's the one.
That was very fast of our producer, isn't it? He's got lightning fingers. He responds to the digital world faster than anybody I know, right? So what was that? What was he saying on that just now?
Oh, that site, Cybery, so that got free training, and that gives you a career path as well. So anyone with a little knowledge on IT, they can develop themselves to be a cybersecurity professional. They need to take a few steps. So it tells you, how to develop yourself and everything.
So that's very good. That is an area which is totally new to the radio, and we'd like you very much to be involved in that, so we can do some techie development work.
Sure.
in that field. So to have a digital hub would be very useful, wouldn't it?
It would be very useful for the community as well, for Leicester community. It would be very good to sort of get more people involved in the digital hub and assisting the community.
Across the board.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the way forward, isn't it?
Yes.
So
we need to collaboratively work together to build up a big society.
So, of course, there is a message there. Any advice on how to best tackle the nuisance fraudulent calls from the Asian call centers pretending to be HMRC officers, etc., and ask for immediate payment to settle outstanding bills? So, you're familiar with that?
Yeah, there's loads of calls and text messages saying that, you are owed this much money for HMRC, or they will say, okay, if you don't, sometimes, nowadays you're getting calls saying that, if you don't call this number within certain minutes or certain hours, police will come back to your house and arrest you because you haven't paid the HMRC bill or something like that. Those are all fraudulent calls. There's a site which you can report them and I'll get you the site. I can't remember that now, but I can give you the site to the radio so they can post it on their website, on the digital platform. You can inform them, so they will try to block it. But technically, we need to understand. We need to educate ourselves to see, what is fraudulent, what is not fraudulent. Usually, HMRC won't. Yep, that's the one. So yes, producers told that's the one which you to avoid, and how to do the phishing scams there. So that's the thing, It's basically we need to educate ourselves to understand what is a genuine call and what is not a genuine call. Usually HMRC will not call from a mobile number or won't text from a UK mobile number. So those kind of things we need to look at. And also if you get an email, you need to look at the email address by clicking or hovering through the email address. So it will show the actual email address. It would be a spoofed email address. If you see, on the front, it will say HMRC. But if you take the cursor to that email address, it will show you a different one. So those are some of the basic things you can do to protect yourself and identify whether it's a genuine or not.
So many people fall for it, don't they?
Yeah, they are usually vulnerable people, like, they are on old people and vulnerable people. They are the one who usually they targeted, the pensioners, and everyone try to get those things because of their vulnerability, they will try to sort of target those people.
Of course, the digital hub is a great idea. We shall pick up on that after Ramadan and see how we can do some work together on that.
Inshallah.
And it's a wonderful thing if we can deliver a hub from all different communities in one building, then that would be a good idea. and we can all be benefiting from there. So the brother is asking there, is there any courses or training available for the elderly who aren't as savvy to spot these fraudulent calls?
Yes, there are some, but I'll pass it to the radio, and they will sort of give it to you all. I don't have, I didn't prepare for that at the moment. Yes, I'll give those things and get back to you all.
So I can see definitely that we need to have a dedicated program for the digital issues, and everybody can benefit from that, because, of course, when we do the radio throughout the month, we do focus heavily on community development issues and how we can work together as a team. And this is very important, some bullet points that you have brought to the table. So we have a bit of homework to do afterwards, don't we?
Yes, inshallah.
And to engage with all 700 families in the Sri Lankan community.
Yeah.
So you're going to help us with that?
Definitely.
Yeah, and then to engage with all the sporting organizations.
Yeah, they'll be very, very delighted to join you all and help you all to build the
Right,
community.
and then the third one, see, as I'm talking, my producer is writing all that down, and he keeps on top of things like that. And the third one is to do more work on the cybersecurity and the digital development
Yes, inshallah.
in the community, right? So this is three things we have to take away from this session today, is to strengthen our bonds, as they say, with the Sri Lankan community. So how many of you even knew that there were 700 Sri Lankan families in the city of Leicester? So I know the new census report will come out soon,
Yeah.
but how many Sri Lankans are there in Leicester?
I think approximately, I reckon it's approximately 700 families.
So how many is numbers, in numbers?
Oh, in numbers, you mean? In numbers, probably about, let's say, at least about 4,000 numbers.
So 4,000 out of
Approximately,
out of our city, which is about 358,450. So whenever I say these numbers, my producer immediately goes on Google and he checks to see if I'm right or I'm wrong, and he does that all the time. So that is in the city of Leicester, the diversity numbers are incredible. So sometimes, if you have a chance, look that up on your digital platforms, and you'll find so many different communities in this city. So did you know, for example, how many languages are spoken here in this city?
No.
So there was one school around the Melbourne Road area. There was 40 plus languages just in that school.
Mashallah.
So 40 languages. Imagine how many different people from different parts of the world
Yes.
that are there. It's incredible, isn't it? So you go to a country like Africa, like the country where I'm from, Uganda. Just in Uganda, there's about 20 languages
Oh, mashallah.
from different ethnic minorities or different groups of people. There is 20 plus languages there. So it's incredible. And how many languages people can speak. So some people will be able to speak at least 5 of those languages. And here, we don't have that problem, do we? We only have English. And
True.
language actually bonds people together.
Yeah.
If I can speak your language, then I'm reaching to you more better than if I could not speak your language.
In Sri Lanka, we speak 3 languages: Tamil, Sinhalese, and English. And as far as you know, Tamil is a very complex language next to Chinese. So, mashallah, they got a very...
Well, I call that the TikTok language, because all the sounds are from the back of the throat, where you're dealing with that. So today, time just flies by. We're coming to the end of the program, and we've had a great chat with the brother Safraz, who's involved in cybersecurity, and we shall look forward to some continuing development work with him, and we shall also look forward to meeting you all tomorrow with another wonderful guest. And Brother Safraz, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity. And inshallah, we'll get engaged. The Sri Lankan community will get engaged with you all with all the nice work we are doing for the community.
That was our intention today. And we shall look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Jazakallah khair for listening in. Thank you for your contributions. And we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Jazakallah khair.